Hi, friends. A warm good evening and welcome to this live broadcast with Crossword. This is Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai here with my dear friend Shubha Vilasji. Shubha Vilasji, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai. It's such a pleasure and honor to be here on this platform of Crossword. And at the same time, to be on an event with you is always an honor and pleasure. I always look forward to any kind of discussions with you.
Thank you so much, Shubha Vilasji. So, friends, let me quickly introduce you the man of the match, the man of the day, the author of the day, Shubha Vilasji. He's been a serial author. A lot of people have heard about serial entrepreneurs and a lot of serial killers also included. But here we have a serial author who has written so many books. And today we are going to be discussing about his latest book, which is so close to my heart, and that is The Magic of Friendships. Yes, I'm going to introduce you one of my greatest friends, a person with whom, it just take up a phone and give a call. Don't even look at the time and don't have a reason to call. So I have a very dear friend, Shubhilasji, who I also consider as a spiritual friend, a friend, philosopher, guide, and we are going to talk about his latest book. So welcome once again, Shubhilasji. It's an honor to have you on this particular show with Crosswords.
Radhakrishnaji, obviously, a person like you needs no introduction. You are calling me a serial author. By that standard, you are like maybe 10 times more than me. And that too, you are not just a serial author, but you're a serial author on one theme, which is just so amazing. You always write on Chanakya, so much wisdom on Chanakya, and people have actually given you the name Modern Chanakya. That's amazing. And you truly are, because the wisdom of Chanakya Pandit is such an amazing and deep wisdom, and the qualities that he imbibed, and the qualities that he emulated in his life is something that practically people all over the world are trying to still understand, digest, and learn from. And you're bringing it so practically in the corporate world and so practically for youngsters, for kids, and it's just so amazing the kind of variety that you're doing. And it's such a pleasure and honor to be with you.
No, it's an honor because I only know one subject, Chanakya, but you have been writing on various subjects. And friends, it's so nice to actually have three friends over here. Three friends who may wonder where is it? Where is the third person? I hope everybody's looking at the logo. That's Crossword and Penguin. So remember one thing: if you are an author or if you want to be author, it is never your personal journey. It's a journey with friends. So we have so many friends over here. The two people who are physically here, but in the background we have Harshal, we have Katie, we have Shivan, and so many other people at Crossroads. And of course, our publishers are around here. So we have so many friends. So, with that, let me start by asking you about the latest book. But before we start, even though it's a Corona lockdown, I want to see the physical copy of the book. So can you please show me the physical copy of The Magic of Friendship, please?
Absolutely. There it is.
Friends, you can see the two people there on that photograph. That's me and Shubhilaji, okay? So remember, you don't know who it is. That's me and Shubhilaji. Please clap your hands for that, okay? Thank you so much. The Magic of Friendship by Shubhilaji. This is a book that has been released very recently in the lockdown during the Friendship Day. Yes, we had the Friendship Day very recently, and it's a very successful book. You have to order it, okay? You don't have a choice. You have to order it at Crossword. We'll be sending you the link very soon, so keep a note of it. But before you start reading the book, it is said that the author is there. Why worry about the book? We'll talk about purchasing the book later on, but it's very important that we know from the author about the book. So, Shubhilaji, let me start asking you the whole idea about the book, the content about the book, and of course, I've read the book. So, but I want the mother of the book to start speaking about its baby. So, Mama, please tell us about your latest baby.
This book, The Magic of Friendship, had originated from a discussion I had with my publisher, Vaishali Mathur, and we were just conversing about. So I did a talk on relationships in the JLF, in Jaipur Literary Festival, and immediately after the talk, Vaishali walked up to me and she said that you have to write a book for us, and she said you have to write a book that connects with youngsters, and right then and there, we were standing on in one corner of with thousands and thousands of people walking around all of us, all around us, and we were discussing what should be a good idea. And that's when I suggested that one of the things that youngsters are dying to really understand is friendship. I know today that probably more than any time in the past, the number of friends that anybody has goes in thousands, especially if you're on Instagram and Facebook and things like that. So you technically tend to think that you have thousands of friends, much more than what we used to have in our younger days when there was no social media hype. But the reality is, almost everyone is alone, though they have potentially thousands of friends, but they're still struggling alone. And therefore, I wanted to really help young minds explore the concept of friendship, understand the concept of friendship, and also cherish the concept of friendship. And that's why I wrote a book on friendship. And the book is written in a language that young audience, young adults can really capture. It's a breeze read, so it's not really a very intense or a very complicated read. It's a very easy, breezy read, but at the same time, it's deep. It's like an ocean. The ocean has on a surface. It seems calm and cool and fun, but there is a lot of depth in it also.
Absolutely. I've seen the book myself, and there are going to be a lot of things we're going to discuss. But my first question always would be that you use so many words about friendship, because in the English language it's about friend. But you use multiple words. I want to listen to you. What are the different words you are used in Sanskrit specifically about the word friendship? Please, sir.
So I categorized friendships into four categories. I call this as four levels of friendship. So the first level is bandhu, which means associate. These are acquaintances. These are people that you meet in your workplaces, in your school, colleges, neighborhoods, like that. The second level I call it as sakhas. So these are friends, a little deeper than bandhus. So these sakhas are people who have invested time in you, and you have invested time in them. So they care about you a little more than what a bandhu or somebody who's an associate cares about you. But if you go a little deeper into the relationship, when there is love, when there is trust, when there is a lot of intimate heart-to-heart connections, then it goes from Sakha to Priya Sakha, which is best friends. And then, so Priya Sakhas are people who can die for you. They are people who are there for you all the time. They are people who help you grow. They are people who celebrate your success. They are people who really are a part of your life's journey. And then the highest level of friendship is what I call as Suhrit. Suhrits are mentors. Suhrits are people who, the first person you remember when you are in trouble, that's your Suhrit. The first person you remember when you have a great joy, a great celebration, that's your Suhrit. And Suhrits are very, very rare. You may have many Priya Sakhas, but you cannot have too many Suhrits. Maybe one or maybe two Suhrits in your life.
Can I add one more word to it if you don't mind?
Please, please, please. I'll add it in the next edition of the book.
It is called Mitra. So Chanakya actually has used this word that if you want to be a good leader, because Chanakya was the leadership guru, he says, without Mitra, your kingdom is not complete. So I think right from Bandhu, Sakha, Priya Sakha, and Suhrut, I think you have so beautifully classified them. And when I've gone through the book, I have realized one thing, you have made it so simple. As you rightly pointed out, deep but simple. So let me have this question. Tell me something about creating value in friendship, because we need to create value. Otherwise, it's all about I, me, myself. How do we create value in friendship?
I'm going to quote a Sanskrit verse to help us understand how to create value, what exactly this actually means. Basically. So this verse, this is Shubhashitam, it says, Ye kechid dukita loke sarve te swa sukhe chaya. Ye kechid sukhitha loke sarve te anya sukhe chaya. So this verse means that anyone who focuses on his or her own happiness will always be unhappy. And
Ah,
anyone who strives to make others happy, will end up being happy themselves.
very
This
nice.
is my basis of understanding of this concept of how to create value in friendships. So
Right.
friendship is all about sharing joys and sorrows. And so the idea is that if we can somehow become sources of happiness for our friends, if we can somehow become sources of joy for our friends, that's actually adding value. There's a very interesting French philosopher whose name was Albert Camus. He speaks a very interesting quote. He says, "Don't walk behind me; I may not lead you. Don't walk in front of me; I may not follow you. Just walk beside me and be my friend." So, friendship is about people who walk beside you, and while walking beside you, they're somehow planning and focusing on adding value to your life. And really, if you really understand what friendship is, just to give you a simple example, um, the citizens of Ayodhya in the Ramayana, we find this very interesting example. The citizens of Ayodhya were asked by Dashrath, the king of Ayodhya, why do you want Ram to be the next king? What is it in Ram that you see that he should be the next king? They said many things, but one of the things they said really struck me hard. They said, Ram is a person who is with us at the good and bad times of our life. They say that when we are happy, when we're going through a joy in our life, when we're celebrating something, Ram comes to our house and he is more happy than our family members.
Wow.
And when we are going through a misery, Ram comes to our house and he cries along with us. And sometimes he cries more than our family members. So the point that they were trying to make was this person really cares for us. This person really. So they're not saying that he comes and solves their problems.
Hmm.
He comes and cries with them. So not all problems can be solved. So if you have a friend, it's not possible that that person can solve all your problems. But that person can come and cry along with you. That person can actually be there with you. Just one small story I would like to add to help us understand what is the meaning of adding value to a friend's life. There was a teacher who once had a student who came to her and asked a simple question. He said, "How many friends should one have? Should I have one friend or should one have many friends?" The teacher, she wanted to give an experiential answer. So she took him to the garden outside, and she pointed out to a mango tree. She said, "Can you bring me the mango on the topmost branch of this tree?" This boy looked up; it's quite high. So he went and called a friend of his, and one climbed on the shoulder of the other and tried to reach out, but they couldn't. So they called more friends and they tried to make a pyramid. And very soon they were like 20, 30 boys making a huge pyramid, and somehow somebody tried to reach out, but they all fell down. And it was very, so they went and told the teacher, it's very, very confusing. How do we really get that top mango? So the teacher, she said, so when this boys were asking, how will I ever reach the topmost mango? The teacher said, maybe you can just put a ladder. And then the teacher gave a very interesting explanation of friendship. She said, it's not about the number of friends that you need, or how many people that you need to add into your life. It's about having at least one person who can be wise enough to give you the right guidance.
Wow. Very nice, very nice. That's an amazing story. In fact, Shubhilash ji, in your book, there are stories, a lot of activities also. I've seen a lot of diagrams. It's not a very dry book. It's a very interestingly engaging book. So, friends, I hope you have already started looking at the link of Crossword and make sure that you order not just one, but a few more copies for your friends. Okay. So before I ask the next question, if you have any doubts about friendship, we have a mentor, philosopher, friend, and guide who will solve all your problems. Remember, there's a saying that whenever there's a problem, pick up a call and phone your friend. Even Amitabh Bachchan says in Kaun Banega Karodpati, it's a lifeline. Call a friend. Phone a friend, okay? When you have that most horrible thought of giving up on life, the one thing formula that works is phone a friend, okay? So you cannot phone us now, but at least you can chat. Okay. So if you have any questions, please put it on the chat box. I'm going to ask the expert on friendship to speak about it. So as you are chatting and thinking about ordering multiple copies of the book, I'm going to ask you the next question. Friendship is also a responsibility. Many people look upon it as a competition. So how is friendship a responsibility over competition? Any thoughts on that, Shubhilaji?
I'll begin with the story.
Okay.
One time, two friends were walking in a jungle,
Mhm.
and as they were walking, this was evening time, very quiet time in the jungle, and as they were walking, they suddenly heard a very heavy rustling sound, somewhere nearby. And when they turned, they actually got the shock of their life. They saw a tiger, moving towards them. And these two boys, they really started panicking. They started running, And in the middle of their intense chase, one friend stopped and he was tying his shoelaces. And now the other friend, he was like very shocked, that how is it that in the middle of such a chase, you're stopping to tie your shoelaces? So this friend told him, see, it's very simple. I don't have to run away from the tiger. I only have to outdo you. That's all.
Ah.
So he was not bothered about the tiger because he knew the tiger only needs one person, So he said, I only need to just run away, run so fast that I outdo you. So I'm just getting ready for that.
Very nice.
So for a lot of people, this is what friendship is, unfortunately. The whole idea of friendship is they take up a spirit of competition. And the spirit of competition is so intense now that somehow it doesn't feel like friendship at all, but rather it feels like an intensely competitive and intensely what do you call it, tough time basically. So a lot of people within their phases of life, while they are having their friendships, they seem to be not even be able to breathe properly because the friend, rather than encouraging them, he strangles them. A friend, instead of being someone who can uplift you, if the friend is pushing you down, and if a friend is someone who supposed to be somebody who adds value to your life, but if that very person who adds value to your life, if he adds competition to your life, then it becomes really intense. There should be some people in your life that you're not competing with.
In fact,
At least
Shubhilaji,
some people.
absolutely. In fact, Shubhilaji, I remember that there's a formula that moved from competition to collaboration in friendship. So instead of competing, you have to collaborate. And remember one thing: friendship is not the requirement of one person; it is a requirement of every person. In fact, one great
Absolutely.
spiritual master Swami Chinmayananji put it very nicely: money can never make you rich; it is friends who make you rich. Money can never
So
make you rich.
true.
So, friends, I
Very
think
true.
everybody wants to be rich, but your parameters along with money should be how many friends you have. So, any particular memories of your own childhood friendship or college friendship or spiritual friendship that has left an impact on you, Shubhalaji? Would you like to share that?
Of course. I have had so many amazing friends in my life, in the journey of my life. In my school days, I had two young boys who were my classmates, best of friends. Even now, Vibhav and Azhar, they're still very much a part of my life and very very closely connected. Then when I moved to college days, I had some amazing friends. About six of them. We were like inseparable all the time together, and they played such a crucial journey in crucial help in my journey of life, and to help me develop the confidence and understand myself better. And then when I really lived in the monastery, I was living with 150 monks, intelligent, smart, enthusiastic, very educated, and all high achievers. And living with them, I learned so much about friendship, so much about humility, so much about service attitude. And that's where I learned the basis of friendship is serving one another rather than taking from one another. It's about giving one another rather than expecting from one another. And that's where I really understood and imbibed certain qualities of friendship that I wrote in this book.
Yeah, Shubhalaji, one last question from my side. Tell me, how do you choose the best friends? Because you also rightly mentioned there are good friends and bad friends. There are friends make you what you are, good company and bad company. Is there a choice in friendship by any chance, or it just happens?
Probably the only relationship, one of the only relationships where we have choices is friendships. We don't choose our parents. Who our parents are there. That's it. That's it. We don't choose our relatives. A lot of times it's just given to us. We don't choose our teachers. They just happen to be there in our life, and we have to learn from them.
Yeah.
But there are some that if we have a choice, we have a very very strong choice of having a choice of which kind of friends we choose. We can choose friends that act as elevators. So elevators can take us up, but there are elevators that take us down also. So if you're already up, the elevator may bring you down, but if you're down, an elevator may bring you up. So we need to choose friends who can act as elevators and multipliers in our life. When we say multipliers, that means whatever we have, they multiply it with more.
Wow.
So when you have a multiplier in your life, that person multiplies all your good qualities. Or there are friends who can be dividers. So when they enter your life, they divide you, and that means you lose so much of your good qualities, basically. So we should be careful that we are choosing multipliers and not dividers. So apparently, dividers may also seem to be good, seem to be fun, seem to be exciting to be with, but dividers actually destroy us, and they destroy us so badly.
No, I think it's a very valid point when you said, it can be very mentally devastating also. You have been a guide to millennials. So it is not just as an author, you've been working with so many of them. You're a columnist also on, how this can be a tool for guiding the next generation of young boys and girls, the young adults, as you rightly pointed out. Just a very candid question from my side. We fall into a different generation altogether. Is there any difference you find in our generation of friendship and the next generation? I'm not yet comparing, but the whole idea is that this whole generation has got a lot of advantages over our generation and other challenges, which probably is different. So, do you think any generation difference in friendship that's happening nowadays?
Principally, there is not too much difference, but as far as the reality is concerned, in terms of the practicality, there is a lot of difference. In the previous generation, at least 10 years, 15 years back, we were forced to spend so much time with our friends because we didn't have our gadgets. Today, the moment you have a gadget in your hand, 90% of your time goes with the gadget. So your gadget actually has technically become your best friend, replaced a real friend. But in the past, we didn't have the distraction of gadgets. Fortunately, at least we spent a good amount of time of our life without the distraction of gadgets. Now, obviously, if somebody is growing in a generation with gadgets, now it's not going to be so easy to understand or feel that we can still survive without gadgets. So I feel when you get to know human beings personally in real, they're very different than what they are on chats and online.
Yeah.
If you really look at the way things are, if you're having a phone and somebody is chatting with you or somebody is speaking to you or you're on social media with someone, you can switch off anytime. You can switch off, you can block, you can delete, You can do a lot of things online, basically. But if you're sitting with a friend physically, can you switch him off? You feel like shutting his mouth, but can you actually do it? You can't. But in online, you can actually do it. If somebody's irritating you, you shut either you shut your own phone or you block that guy or do something. You can just shut a person so easily online. And that's when we don't understand the nuances of real dealings. We don't understand the nuances of how you tolerate people, how you respect people, how you connect with people. So when you actually are dealing with physical people, real humans, not humans that pop out from gadgets, when you're dealing with real humans, you also develop real qualities like patience, like tolerance, like compassion, empathy, and so many other qualities that you can develop. But when you're dealing with humans that pop out from gadgets, you obviously have full control. Like if somebody wants to change the screensaver, they can change instantly. If somebody wants to change a ringtone, you can change immediately. If somebody wants to delete people, add people, you can instantly do all of those things. So it gives you a solid sense of control. But when you are with real people, you have to deal with people with humility. If you really want deep relationships, I feel that's the greatest difference.
Absolutely. In fact, I just got a message on WhatsApp, and it's a very interesting question. I think you are the expert to answer it, saying that I have a friend whom I used to trust, but when I require him nowadays, since lockdown, okay, he's not even answering my phone. He replies back almost after 2, 3 days. What do I do? Quite strange, corona problem in friendship. What's your suggestion? Because I think the person considered him as a best friend, but he's not been responding for talking. Any suggestions during corona lockdown on friendship?
My understanding is everyone has a story.
Wow. Okay.
So we know our story well because our story is happening to us. But unfortunately, we do not know other people's story. And therefore, unless and until we understand the other person's story, it's not good to judge them.
Wow.
It's not good to decide on who they are or label them in any particular way. So I personally feel one of the very important things that every friend needs to know is have the patience to find out what is the story of the other person before concluding. A lot of problems can be solved if we understand that people are not difficult; they're just different.
Wow.
And their own life situations may lead them on different paths, and they may find different situations in their life that may not allow them to interact, may not allow them to respond in the way they would love to respond. And unfortunately, we are so lost in our own world. There's something known as swartha in Sanskrit, and swartha is selfishness. There is so much of selfishness in us that we don't have time and energy and enthusiasm to find out what's going on in their life. And if this person has to just ask, can I help you in some way? There will be so much of a difference in the way.
I think you so beautifully pointed out when you said, that it's not about you because my friend is not calling me up. Maybe he's or she has got a problem. I think it's because we are not being considered. He's not calling up when I require him. Probably he has got a problem which you are not able to understand. Very valid point. But that
it may be a bigger problem than what you're going through.
Very, very deep, very deep. So, friends, you understand how the book is going to be useful for you. It's not about you, it's about them as well. Yes, you're right. It could be a deeper problem. That brings to my last question, okay, before we go to the book part of it again. You used a very beautiful Sanskrit word, swartha. I love the terminologies you use, bandhu, sakha, surut. If you look at it, I've been working on this word a lot. Artha Shastra. Okay, now very interestingly, I find this trend with the millennials who want to actually convert their friendships into business. When I say I'm not making it a business thing, but together friends come and they start a business. So I think it's a normal thing, because when they're in colleges or when they're out there, they don't want to take up a job. It's a lucky generation, of course. But what about the business failures is one thing, but also when people do business, there are also heartbreaks and friendships also break. Any comments on that as swartha in artha?
So my understanding is the problems in friendship happen
7 o'clock.
when there are mis misjudged expectations or misaligned expectations. So when there is a big gap between expectation and reality, it creates problems. So now, usually when you jump into businesses, a lot of times I know that friends who jump into businesses, they do not have clear written policies. A lot of it
Oh,
is just based on um, just mutual intuition, trust, things like that. So when it comes to love, you don't need anything written. But when it comes to money, it's best it is written.
mm,
So I always recommend it's not that we shouldn't have business with friends. We should. It's great, but it's best if you have written policies, especially when you're dealing with friends, because money is not more important than friends. Friendship is more important than money. But obviously money is also important. You cannot neglect it. So when you are dealing with money, it's like money is like a razor's edge. When you're walking on a razor's edge, you have to be really careful.
wow.
So friends walking together on a path of making money, it's like walking on a razor's edge. You can bleed, provided if you don't take precaution.
Very nice, very nice. In fact, I remember a businessman telling, I value my friendship over our money. I don't mind making losses, but I don't want to lose my friends. So beautiful.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much. So here is my final concluding question. One last message from your book. Anything one liner, one statement that we all can take away from our this particular discussion.
So the way I understand friendship is a lot of basis of friendship has to be there's a medieval saint whose name is Rupa Goswami, 500 years before he lived in India, and he wrote many books, many books. But one of the things that he talks about friendship is he calls it as swajatiya. So he says you should make relationships with those who are swajatiya. Now, unfortunately, a lot of people misunderstand the word swajatiya. So people feel it's connected to jati or some caste or something. That's not what he's talking about. He's saying swajatiya, he's talking about is like-mindedness. So when we make connections with people, if you really want these connections to last for a lifetime, look for connections where there is like-mindedness.
Yeah.
Wherever there is like-mindedness, there is a possibility of it lasting for a lifetime. But a lot of people, unfortunately, today make friendships of convenience. So when you make friendship of convenience, it's just convenient to be a friend with this person. It's just convenient to be a friend, friend, or rather, more than convenience, there is also a benefit of being a friend with somebody. So when we look for conveniences, when we look for benefits in friendship, we unfortunately do not focus on like-mindedness. In my understanding, for friendships to really last, the bottom line has to be like-mindedness. And then you can build up on many other things that can enhance the friendship.
I think it makes a lot of sense when you said, the Swajate is almost like birds of the same feather flock together. So find your interest, find your group, but commit to it lifelong. I want to see the cover page once again. It's so beautiful. It's you and me together without face. So that's the
I
magic
love the
of.
way you put it.
You see the two friends, Shubhilas and Radhakrishnan Pillai, that dancing. I hope you are going to do that. And it's such a beautiful cover page. Thanks to the publishers, Penguin Random Book House. Thanks to Crossword team. There's a huge backend team which is working to make this FB live session happen. Right from Harshil, KK, Shivani, and so many others. So I think before we sign off, I hope you promised yourself that you will give these books to your friends. So go to Crossword online. You don't have to get out of your house. Better be home, be safe till it is really safe. Avoid going out. If required, do go out. But definitely sitting at home, take your mobile and go live. The Crossword Bookstore Link is already been given. You can buy your copy, but don't be confused or a miser with your friend. Minimum 2 copies. Okay, one for you and one for your best friend. Let's have a lot of friends, Mitra Suraj. So thank you so much, friends. Shubhalaji, any passing statement as we finally come to the end of this particular session? Any passing statement from you?
I would first of all like to thank Radhakrishna ji for being here, and it's such an amazing experience having a friend like you. I have never seen a person who is as selfless and as enthusiastic to give as you, and what you're doing for the world is just amazing. But more amazing than that is the person that you are. I find that to be very, very rare and very special in today's world. And I find a lot of genuineness and a lot of heart in whatever you do, which is amazing. And that's what really attracted me towards you.
Thank you.
And
Same
I
goes
also
to
would
you.
like to, of course, yeah, it's mutual. I would also like to thank Crossword for having invited me here on this amazing platform of theirs. And I have done so many events with Crossword, and every time I do an event with Crossword, it's always fun and exciting and beautiful. My first book launch ever, many many years back, happened with Crossword, so I can never forget Crosswords at any point in my life. And I'm thankful to Harshal, to so many of the people that are on the background of the Crossword, Shivani, Ketki, and so many of them that are really there helping us. And I would also like to thank my publisher, Penguin. This is my first book with Penguin. I would like to thank Vaishali ji and Ranjini, Sanjita for doing so much for promoting the book and marketing the book. They are such special people. And more than anything else, I would like to thank hundreds of my readers, hundreds and thousands of my readers across the world. Every time I write something, I find so many people writing to me, and calling me up, sharing their heart, and telling me how the books are really touching them. For me, my enthusiasm to write comes from there. A lot of people also do tell me that I write faster than they can read, but that's okay. I'll keep writing. They can read at their pace. And also, I would like to end by saying that when I write this book on friendship, and I've written so many things on the concept of friendship. These are things that I really believe in. These are things that I actually live by, and these are things that are so crucially important for the world to understand. I have seen the best of friends, and I've seen the worst of friends. I've seen hearts break. I've seen hearts stay together for life, and I've seen how friends can actually encourage, uplift, and take people to another level. I would actually say that what I am today is simply because I had great friends in my life. If I didn't have good friends in my life, I would never be what I am today. I would be a very simple, below average, probably, less than mediocre person who's, somehow wasting life somewhere. But because I had such amazing friends, they have lifted me up, given me enthusiasm, courage, encouragement, and a lot of love, which is what has made me what I am today. So this Crossword Live and this book is dedicated to all my friends. So I've dedicated this book to my a list of huge list. So when I wrote this whole list of friends which I want to dedicate the book to, my publisher, they said impossible. We can't have a dedication so big. And they made me squeeze the dedication to one paragraph. But I said I need this in the book. So then we put it at the back of the book as acknowledgements. So the acknowledgement runs to 2 pages. It's all the people that I need to acknowledge in my life.
That's so nice. In fact, I want to read out all the friends who have joined over here and also putting in comments. We have Rasika, Ketki, of course, Ronjini, we have Jagdish, Nandish, Rasika. Thank you so much for your comments. It adds a lot of value. This please do share this video also with your friends. Make sure you understand the value of friendship. This is completely mind-boggling for me also. But I like to wind up with one suggestion to each one of you listening over here: make books also your best friends. And your friends, we are talking about
Absolutely.
human beings, but let's not forget what has got all of us together is the love for books. So Jatiya, we all are having one common love, that is for books. Keep the love for books alive. Drop into the Crossroad bookstore whenever the time is right. But don't worry, you're going to overcome these tough times. But the only one formula to overcome these tough times is to spend a lot of time with books, with friends, and of course, together they'll come out emerging successful. Thank you so much, Ubilalji. Thank you so much, Crossword and
Thank
Penguin.
you. Thank you.
It was great chatting with you and looking forward to more such sessions. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Radhakrishna ji.
Thank you.
Bye.